Ow. What's up everyone, Punchy back with Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 3 to Higurashi. Third time I am starting this recording for the video. It's just how out of practice I am. First I started recording, I was like, oh crap, I didn't even start actually recording the game. And then I go 5 minutes again. Then I realized that I'm not actually recording from my microphone, I'm recording from like a different setting, and so it's not actually recording anything. So here we are again. At least it helped me warm up a bit. Anyway, in Higurashi, so what had happened was Punchy was found by Takano-san because she was driving away from the festival after it concluded. Guess what? She didn't die, or at least maybe didn't die yet, as is the norm in Higurashi. And she nearly drove over Punchy, who was trying to bike back home, I assume, while he was trying to look for his shovel after the rain, after killing Satoko's aunt and uncle. And to think he was just at home. He could have all been done if he was a little more careful, but he just couldn't, and now he's exhausted. But she's got him and she's taking him home. Punchy Mirabara, that's it. You need to kill her. My entire body reawakened, and I could feel my pupils dilate. I couldn't possibly beat her to death with the shovel in such a small car. Then I would use my hands and strangle her. But she was driving right now. If I strangled her, we might get into an accident. Then suddenly, Takano-san turned and looked at me. What? No witty retort? For a moment, I was surprised. What was she talking about? It would seem we're not a very good match, Takano said, disappointed, returning her gaze ahead. I repeated the words she'd said a few times in my head, and finally realized she'd meant it as an off-color joke. I didn't know whether it was really a joke, but I wouldn't be able to fool her, no matter how many lies I told. Yeah, she is much more clever than Punchy, so there's no way you can get around that. Right now, with her driving the car like this, I couldn't kill her. I would have an even harder time doing it when we got back to my house. That moment we met, that had been my best chance. And to have missed it so easily, it hurt. Punchy is... It's weird coming back to Punchy that's, you know, he's gone. You know, he's not the innocent, like, not very knowledgeable what's going on around him Punchy that we know and love. He's killed someone. After that, Takano-san didn't say a single word. The car was completely buried in almost suffocating silence. What kind of woman had I run into? With everything that happened today, I managed to pull it off. At the very end of it all, I just had to go home and go back to sleep. What bad luck. As my sleepiness gradually overtook me, the anxiety I felt steadily started to matter less and less. Is that alright, Punchy Mirabara? You probably should not leave this woman alive. Right now, I'm tired. She stepped on the brakes, and I jerked against my seatbelt. That woke me up. I thought I must have fallen asleep by accident. I looked out the window, and there was a big building with faint lights on. It was really dark out, but I knew immediately it was my house. I'll go get your folks for you. Would you mind the place for a few moments while I'm gone? Hee hee hee. Don't make fun of me, please. Besides, look, I'm fine now. I can walk by myself. Oh my. You were in such pain before that you that you had to get me to carry you? Did you just want a pretty lady to be nice to you? Hee hee hee. As Takano-san spoke, she left the car and opened up her umbrella. The sound of falling raindrops was fierce, as always. I carefully reached down and rubbed the ankle I twisted. That's right, Punchy was injured, actually. That's one reason why everything just seemed to go bad for him. There was still some pain and a little weirdness, but they weren't that bad anymore. Rather than being happy about how light the wound was, I first regretted this whole thing. If I hadn't twisted my ankle, I could have still taken the option of killing Takano-san right then and there. There probably wasn't much doubt that Takano-san was convinced I was involved in some sort of crime. If she knew about everything happening with Satoko, then she might have even guessed I'd kill somebody. Click. Takano-san opened the passenger side door for me. You're sure you don't need my shoulders? I wouldn't mind doing it for you again. Hee hee. I ignored her and started getting out of the car by myself. The rain was still pretty intense. I got my bicycle out of the back seat. I was a bit curious who the other bike belonged to, but that didn't matter right now. I let Takano-san hold the umbrella over me, then pushed my bicycle up to the front. Thank you very much. I'll be fine now. My ankle hurt so much earlier, and it still did. But it aggravated me that it hadn't even been that bad. It was really, seriously, terrible luck. Alright, I will be leaving then. Keep it a secret that we did a nice evening drive together by ourselves, okay? Hee hee. Especially from Ch.3-san. Ch.3-san? Oh, she meant Tomitake-san. I suppose she'd call him by his first name. His full name must be Jiro Tomitake then. And then, the other bike, the folding one in the back seat that I didn't care about at first, suddenly came to mind. Hey, excuse me, you're from Hinamizawa, right? On the day before yesterday, as I walked near the dam, half asleep, Tomitake-san had talked to me. And the bicycle he'd been riding, it was... Wait a minute. That bicycle in the back seat belongs to Tomitake-san, doesn't it? Wait a minute. Where'd he go? I mean, she should have been with him, right? Takano-san's eyes, I think they sharpened for a moment. And why do you think that? I saw it when I met him before. The frame stood out to me. But wouldn't that be odd? Do you think it's possible for this to be Jiro-san's bike? Odd? Huh. Takano-san, her hair elegantly fluttering, peers into my eyes. Well, there are no bed and breakfasts in Hinamizawa, are there? Jiro-san will need to be staying in town. Is that so? Well, I guess that's right, huh? You can't really walk from town to Hinamizawa, can you? And there are no buses either. You at least need a bicycle. She didn't need to tell me that. That's why Jiro-san was riding a bike. For Jiro-san's bike to be stowed in my car, and him not in there, that would be strange, wouldn't it? It would mean Jiro-san was in Hinamizawa without a bike. I'd have to have left Jiro-san somewhere and put his bike in the car, wouldn't I? It wouldn't make sense. Oh, oof. As she spoke, Takano-san made eyes like a hawk. Unfortunately, I didn't really understand what was so odd. I mean, he's like sleep-logged. I don't know if that's a word. His brain is sleep-logged. But holy crap. Did Takano kill Tomitake? I liked Takano-san. But you know I love Tomitake. That's my guy. That was my first, That was my out of the loop bro. Oh, man. What about that is odd? Aren't you and Tomitake-san friends? I don't really think it'd be strange for there to be some reason you had his bicycle in your car. But it would be. What I mean is, Juju-san and his bicycle being in different places in Hinamizawa wouldn't make sense. And for those reasons, it means this bicycle can't be his. Do you understand now? Takano-san's roundabout way of talking was hard to comprehend, but that eeriness I could feel, that vague dreadfulness, I didn't like it at all. But the most wild, instinctive part of me warned me not to pry. That's my bicycle. Juju-san picked it out for me, though, so I can't deny that it looks alike. Ah, I see now. I thought it looked similar. Oh, you and I never saw each other tonight. Was she driving away from Tomitake, it's like burying Tomitake-san's body? Oh, holy crap. That's why she encountered us? This is not a twist I expected, even like last year when I was last recording. And now she was talking about something completely different. What are you talking about? You and I never saw each other tonight. I stayed there, not knowing what to say, and Takano-san repeated her eerie, succinct phrase to me again. Pardon me. You and I never met this night. You and I never saw each other tonight. Something cold and unpleasant crawled up my spine. Yeah, I don't like the eyes on her. You guys know I just don't like generally like the scary eyes. I knew, because I'd killed a person with my own hands before. I came to the conclusion that I only had one chance to beat this woman to death to keep her quiet, and I couldn't hesitate, so I could tell that she'd arrived at this very same conclusion. My instincts warned me again. I wish I'd never met this woman. The faint sense, like a rotting smell, drifting from this woman, was no doubt the exact same sense that I was giving off right now. The very peculiar aspiration, lack of uncertainty at taking a human's life for a purpose, one that only those who have risen above everything had. Actually, maybe I should have called it a nausea. It meant, and I didn't know how to explain this very well, but Takano-san was the same as me. In other words, someone who shouldn't have been here. Someone I couldn't have let anybody know was here. Someone who nobody would have wanted to see. And now that we would calmly pretend as though we never met. Yes, which meant that, just like I wanted to have nothing else to do with her, she didn't want anything to do with me either. And she too wanted to make it so that we'd never met. Both of us wished for the same thing. Our desires were the same, which meant Takano-san's suggestion was extremely practical, and that I couldn't outright refuse. If that's fine with you, then sure, whatever. You and I didn't meet this night. You're right. That would be the best for you too, wouldn't it? Why do you think that? Are you seriously asking me that? You can't figure that out on your own, boy? She cut me off with the condescending word, boy. Right in front of my house, in a place most unsuited to killing. And yet, there was a frozen thirst for blood coming from both of us. Oh, Jesus. Never mind. I'm actually glad Punchy is this weird killer one right now, or else he'd probably be dead right there. I would be killed right here, right now. Yeah. Then I should have definitely beaten her as we passed each other. A damp, greasy sweat broke out of my body. That's fine. If you want me, then you can come anytime. And when I made up my mind, she shook her hair elegantly and turned on her heel. Good. I'm a kind person, after all. What was good? How? Because she was a kind person? Was that it? I didn't get it. Takano-san got into her car. We didn't exchange any words of parting. I performed a massive feat, the killing of Satoko's uncle, and yet I didn't feel any accomplishment. On the holy night of Oyashiro-sama's curse, on which the taking of another's life was allowed, on the terribly rainy night when the demons wandered as agents of Oyashiro-sama's will. The demons were never supposed to meet, but suddenly they did. The demons parted ways triumphantly. There was no reason for them to fight. Both their objectives had already been accomplished. With the rain hitting me like a waterfall, my eyes met with Takano-san's through the car window. The female demon, her mouth twisted in a distorted, fearless smile. It was too late to kill her. Far too late. That very first moment we saw each other had been my best chance. And now that we'd parted like this, I was acutely aware of it.
I should not have let her live.
She beat her home quickly, then our car drove away into the deluge. The one woman who knew what really happened tonight disappeared into the darkness. As long as she was alive, this night would never really end. Just get into an accident, I thought to myself. In this downpour, slip on some mud or something, and fly face first into a tree, and die. That wasn't an illusion, a wild flight of fantasy. It was an earnest wish. Yes, it was a command. Die. Die. And keep your mouth shut for eternity. Because I had no doubt. You're wishing for me to die all the same. My curse upon her faded emptily as Takano-san's taillights disappeared into the utter darkness. Her car's lights were completely out of sight now. Even the sound of the engine faded into the sound of the heavy rain was inaudible now. I too turned on my heel to draw the curtains on this insane night, to open my front door and end it all. I began walking towards the front door. I was covered in mud, and I made a squishing sound with every step I took. Squish, squish. Don't worry, Punchy. Squish, squish. She'll die. Squish, squish. Her end will be as miserable as she is. I'll throw her into some flames alive and let her dance until she's burned to a crisp. I'll burn her to ashes into the fires of hell itself until she's roasted as much as she deserves. I wish. I really do. Squish. Huh? Just now, I hadn't taken a step. And yet, a footstep. Without emotion, I turned around. If there was a footprint that was my own, then it was obvious someone else was behind me. Was somebody else there? I was sick of this. Whoever it was, I was sick of everything tonight. I had to check behind me too. This time, I would kill them. I'd kill them without a second thought. I wouldn't hesitate to turn around and dig another hole. But fortunately, double checking, there was nobody there. I wasn't going to have to kill any more people tonight. This night, I couldn't handle any more of it. Even if I heard an extra footstep each time I stopped, I put it down to just me being tired. Oh! I just had 20 minutes left on this night that I didn't finish last year, and so it just started me off with a bang. Takano-san probably killed Tomitake-san. And Punchy is insane about killing people. Holy crap. Okay. Let's check out these new tips and then we'll end it for tonight. I mean, I can't believe 2017 for Higurashi started off so hard. Hello? Do you need the hospital or the fire department? The fire department. Is there a fire or some other accident? Please speak slowly and calmly. I think it's a fire. This is the rest area on the highway. I can see a ton of fire and smoke coming up from the mountains behind us. Nobody goes back there, so I don't know why anything got lit on fire. Anyway, I figured I should let you know. It could turn into a forest fire. I understand. I need to know exactly where you are, so please tell me your name, a phone number we can use to get in touch with you, and the exact location of the fire. Pardon my coughs, guys, by the way. I'm still recovering from getting sick. I'll try to cut out coughs when I can. Notice from the fire department headquarters. We have a report of a suspicious fire on the western slopes of the mountain. Given its distance from the road, it could be a couple's bonfire or someone unlawfully burning trash. The location is deep in the woods. No homes in the area, but the fire could spread. Immediately go to the site to verify. Is this the fire station? This is the District Fire Department branch. We have moments to go at the reported area. Fire confirmed to be a burning oil drum left in the mountains. The fire is calming, and there's no chance it will spread. And, well, in the oil drum, I think it might be a person. Like a person burned with kerosene or something. Well, I think maybe we should get the police over here. There's no mistaking it! This is a person! Ah! Oh, that poor guy. He was just going to check a fire and found a body. Victim of the 5th year. So this is the year that we've killed them. We killed Satoko's uncle, and I assume with a heavy heart that Tomitake is dead. Muscle Man photographer. This year's curse then? That's what it looks like. He kills them differently every year, but this is particularly conspicuous, isn't it? Clawing out your own throat. That isn't normal, but it's been consistent, hasn't it? Let's leave the rest to the old man in forensics. I'm sure he'll find some suspicious drugs. Thank you. Thank you for your hard work. Oh, Oishi-san. Komiyama-san and the others have arrived. Oishi-san, much appreciated. Well, it would seem we have a pretty crazy one this year. Yes. Ah, crap. How did Oishi-san sound? Yes, we've been outsmarted. I was absolutely under the impression Tepe Hoju would get killed tonight. Who is the deceased? Jiru Tomitake. A photographer with a hobby for coming to Hinamizawa a few times a year. We didn't even have him marked. I wonder what happened. Did they realize we were watching the Hoju residence the whole time? Wait, what? They were watching the Hoju residence the whole time and decided to switch their target. They didn't see the uncle run out or anything else that happened? Maybe. We sure flubbed this one. I really can't remember how Oishi-san was supposed to sound. And there are no problems with Tepe Hoju? Correct. His daughter left for the festival in the evening, and a little while later, he left on his motorbike. His daughter came back first. Wait. Has he not come back yet? Is he still out drinking somewhere? Oishi-san, are you there? Call from Chief Takasugi. He's on the line in car 1. Oh, I bet that's a call that actually Tepe Hoju has not made it back home. So they saw him leave, but they didn't see him well enough to, I guess, they weren't watching the back roads. Anyway, thanks for watching the first video of 2017, guys. I'll be glad if you're back, honestly. I know if I'm gone for a long time, people don't usually come back. But if you come back to watch this, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys had a good 2017. Mine started off, as I said before, in my scheduled video of what I plan to do. Busy and then sick. Right now I'm still sick and I should be asleep because I got work early tomorrow. But you know, I told myself that Monday I'd start. So even if I don't get it uploaded Monday, then I should have it up by Tuesday. Hopefully then, once again, really big hopefully, I'll have 2 up by Tuesday because I can edit this one, process this one. Processing, like I said, takes a long time. But also record, edit, and process the next episode. So we're hoping for that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Well, I guess I've been watching a lot of videos, so that's one thing. If you don't like, dislike. I guess that's okay too. You know, you do you. And I hope you guys are having a good New Year. Goodbye.